The Tour de France peloton headed to Belgium today for 203 kilometres, finishing in Liège.
Stage 2 of the Tour de France brings the riders from Düsseldorf and into Belgium for a finish in Liège, where the Tour de France is due to start in 2019. Usually, the trip from Düsseldorf to Liège is less than 150 kilometres, but the organisers have thrown in a loop around the outskirts of the former to bring the stage up to a lengthy 203 kilometres. With such a long day ahead so early in the race, and the chances of a bunch sprint at the finish pretty high, the peloton is likely to let a breakaway go early. The lucky riders will be presented with an early offering in the mountains classification, with the fourth category Côte de Grafenberg after 6.5 kilometres. Just 1 point is available, as it will be at the Côte d'Aulne on the run into Liège, and the winner on both climbs will take the lead in the mountains classification. The two climbs are a minor player in what should be a battle between the fast men in the peloton. The Côte d'Aulne could be a chance to dispatch any of the sprinters not feeling at their best, but the flat run into the line means that anything other than a bunch sprint will be a huge surprise. Victory here will give the winner the momentum heading into the sprint stages later in the race.
Tape was cut by Thomas Geisel, the mayor of Düsseldorf, and Christian Prudhomme, the Tour de France director. As soon as the flag was dropped on the first proper road stage, 4 men began the hostilities. They launched their attack of the Wanty Group and World Omnium champion Thomas Budak of Direct Energy. They were joined by American Taylor Phinney of Cannondale Drapac, who crossed the first King of the Mountains points of the Tour in first place. Again, the weather wasn't kind to the tough men of the Tour de France, and then Sky's starlight day of yesterday turned to sudden darkness. Froome crashed with Romain Bardet. Both of them left chasing with their teammates. Then Froome had a bike change. The defending champion was left chasing the rest of the peloton. He managed, though, to come back paced by the rest of his teammates. Phinney secured the polka dot jersey. And finally, only 2 men were left challenging at the front of the race. Phinney and Alfredo pressed on, trying to outwit the sprinters' teams. But it wasn't to be. 1 kilometre from the finish in Liège,
Robin Verdet, c'est maintenant le meilleur performeur 10 victoires et avec les magnifiques.
Marcel Kittel won the first rendezvous of the sprinters, his 10th stage win of the Tour and his 10th win of the 2017 season.
I'm super happy that I got this victory today, and it was an incredible start in Germany. So many people, and for me it would be wrong to say that I had no expectation or no pressure.
One down, 5 to go. Good, mate.
Plan to go to the discotheque and come back 4 or 5 because the stage we start around midday, so we have time.
Yeah, there are a lot of good sprinters in this Tour de France, and everyone wants to ride in front, everyone is trying to use their team. And today there was actually nobody who really succeeded in doing a great leader. It was a little bit headwind, and yeah, Matteo and Fabio brought me to 500 meters, and from there on I just tried to follow wheels and go in the right moment for the victory. It's a big boost for the morale of everyone, for the motivation. We were already very confident, we knew that we can perform well, but it's always different when you can start straight away with a good result. Yesterday the time trial was already good, but to get the victory today is a great feeling, and I think it motivates also guys like Philippe, Stübi or Matteo for tomorrow's stage. When they have a shot, they know the big pressure is gone. Our team was so successful today already, and that helps a lot in the end.
An emotional day for Marcel Kittel. Here we have the first hierarchy of the sprinters in this year's Tour. Kittel won ahead of Arnaud Demar and his German compatriot Andre Greipel. There was no change at the top of the general classification. Gerrit Thomas of Team Sky remains in the yellow jersey. Stage 3. We find the riders crossing the entire length of Luxembourg before they arrive in France at Longwy. This stage is not an easy one, with rolling roads, which will mean the leaders need to be alert. The finish at the top of the Côte de Religieuse, a climb of 1.6 kilometres at 5.8%. It should produce an exciting end to a long day.